My friend lied to her nursing school program, and I have the evidence.
Oh, well, then you should use it.
I, 20 female, have a friend named Sam, 23 female, who is a nursing student. She's been getting real crazy lately. By the way, this comes from Should She Be Reported? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, among other things, she's planning a wedding for 2018 in which I am a bridesmaid, and she has already bought her dress despite not having a date or venue. She's trying to get the bridesmaids to go dress shopping with her and is being really demanding, calling all of us childish and liars for not being able to go exactly when she wants. She already demoted 2 maid of honors and kicked out 2 other bridesmaids and keeps randomly adding more girls she barely knows. One of the bridesmaids she kicked out couldn't afford to pay for everyone's dresses and then was lectured in front of a bunch of people at our school about going on vacation when she should be busting her butt off working on the wedding. The remaining bridesmaids are all just about ready to back out.
Yeah, I would be in that camp 100%.
This is the girl that we know is a liar who had the wedding.
Yeah, liar lady.
Liar lady. Okay. Because I am one of her closer friends, but she's not really one of mine, unfortunately. Oof. She has confided in me about an incident in her nursing program. She was previously in a different nursing program and did not follow the requirements, so she was removed from the program. Now she's getting a certificate instead of a degree and is once again not following the requirements. She's not allowed to be late to her clinical and is already on thin ice. Apparently she was late the other day and told her program director that she was in an accident and her car was towed. She sent me messages about this and even pictures of the process of her faking a towing bill certificate saying what she was doing. She will absolutely be removed from her program if I report this. She's lied, cheated, and generally doesn't have the knowledge or ability to do that job correctly. And I'm genuinely concerned someone may pass away under her care someday. But if I report her using these messages and she sees the evidence, she will absolutely know it was me who reported her. I'm afraid that she'll go nuclear and try to ruin all of our mutual friends, which includes most of my friends. I honestly couldn't care one way or the other about being friends with her, which makes me feel really mean, but she's so demanding of other people and constantly feels they owe her, and never cares how her actions affect others, but takes everything people do very personally.
I'm going to just go ahead and say you don't need to do anything.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
She will make her own bed.
And lay in it.
You don't need to do a gosh darn thing. On top of this, my school has a duty to report system. And if she gets caught and they find out I knew, I will be suspended even though I'm in a different program. So my choices are hope she doesn't get caught and potentially get in trouble too, or report her and hope I don't get caught and potentially have her craziness directed at me. Any advice? And there are some comments.
I would just delete those messages.
I don't know. I genuinely think she's got to get caught on her own. I think it would be crazy of your school if they found that out, even though you're not in the same program.
Yeah, I would just completely remove myself from any real presence in this person's life. Is just withdraw myself slowly. And
I would just lose that friend.
She will mess up her own life herself.
Yeah, if she's already gotten things because she's been late all these times, she's definitely going to be late again. And Katie Paladin says she should absolutely be reported if she can't do her job correctly. I agree, but I think because it affects because it affects OP's. Yeah, she's in school.
So we don't know if she can do her job correctly. She hasn't done her job yet. She's still in school for it.
Yeah, and because it
Who
affects
knows? Maybe
OP's,
she's a great nurse and she's just late all the time.
Yeah, I just think that she'll ruin her own career and it would probably be easier for OP in terms of friendships.
Don't get tangled up anymore.
Yeah, just cut this friend off. Comment 1 says, I would ask about their reporting process and what they can do to protect her anonymity. I am also worried that because she has shown a consistent disregard for rules, that this may come to light anyways. And I don't know if you can put it past her that she wouldn't throw you under the bus in order to save yourself. This is what worries me too. Both options feel like tempting fate. Comment 2 says, I have been a nurse for more than 20 years. If this is happening, then, for the love of God and the sake of any future patients, report it. Work to secure anonymity first, but report it. If this is how she handles school, I pity anyone that depends on her down the road. I wouldn't worry all that much about her poisoning your friendships. It doesn't sound like she has many left at this point. And there is an update.
I guess we were wrong.
I don't know. I still think that I don't think you necessarily need to. I think she's got to get herself in trouble.
Oh, I think you're signing up for a headache either way.
Yeah, I think she, like, honestly, you could just be like, oh, she just said she was late. I didn't realize it was a thing. Like, I think you would have plausible deniability there.
Yeah, I think you just keep it pushing.
Update. I just realized in the last thread I did not post the duration of our friendship. I have only known Sam for a year. She asked me to be a bridesmaid eventually last year. Maybe 2 to 3 weeks after meeting me. Girl does not have friends.
That's kind of sad.
I said, okay. Because I felt bad that she didn't have anyone else and figured I might not even know her anymore when it came time. I just wanted to get out of the conversation, and at that point, I wasn't even sure I'd ever see her again. That was wrong of me, and I know I messed up. I honestly would have no idea how to respond to that, though. Someone said that I knew for 2 weeks. Do you want to be my bridesmaid? I'd be like, ha ha ha.
like right now? Like when? Like your next marriage?
On to the update. As I said in the last thread, I think I just needed a punt in the butt to convince myself I was doing the right thing. I have contacted the school and spoken with the dean of the nursing program. I actually emailed them anonymously first, asking if it was possible to report her without getting involved. The director emailed me back and was very nice and gave me their cell number. I realized I couldn't report her without being involved. I'm already involved because she dragged me into it. That thought made me more determined to report her. She's not my friend if she's willing to put me in that position. And I'm not going to potentially get in trouble for someone who doesn't even show concern for my well-being. No, I mean, absolutely report her. I was just saying, yeah, I think that she's going to get herself in trouble anyways. And if you thought it was going to be more complicated in terms of friendship, I just didn't even think you needed to do it. But if you want to do it more than you care about any of the friendship drama, then yeah, do it. I called the director and spoke to him. He was very friendly and asked me about the situation, the student's name, etc. I told him who Sam was, that she faked the towing receipt, and said her professor had accepted it and not suspected anything. He asked for my name, and I gave it. I am committed to what I have done, and I'm not going to be two-faced and pretend it wasn't me. If she finds out and asks, so be it. The director said they should be able to contact the towing company, and when they fail to verify the receipt, she will be disciplined. Nothing else has really happened on that front. She made a few Facebook posts about having a bad day, but if she had been kicked out of the program, she would have been much angrier and wouldn't have shut up about it. So I think she's still in.
They just talked to her and they were like, look, we commend your resourcefulness, but we've contacted the towing company. They have no record of you there.
If she hasn't been kicked out by now, I'm not sure anything will happen. I've made my peace, done my duty, and covered my butt. I'm not going to push it. As far as the wedding goes, I don't think it will happen. I didn't mention this in the last post because it seemed too identifiable, but now I don't care. I mentioned she had fired 2 maids of honor. She then kind of foisted that responsibility onto me. She told everyone involved in the wedding I was going to be the maid of honor. Girl does not have friends. It feels like
that's bad.
She was getting married and then she was like, oh shoot, I need friends. And then just picked random people that she knew.
Ugh.
I felt I had no choice but to say yes to avoid embarrassing her. Now I'm thinking maybe that was her intent. I did ask a few friends for advice because Sam had been constantly messaging me and asking for advice on the wedding, trying to pick bridesmaid dresses when she doesn't even have a date or venue. Her fiancé and she have been together 6 years and engaged the whole time, except for when they were already married and divorced. And when he left her for 3 weeks with another girl before they got back together, this girl has no standards.
This sounds like, you know what? She just might need to be alone for her whole life.
This sounds like not my circus, not my monkeys. Let's leave these monkeys to their own devices.
Get those monkeys out of my sight.
I sat down and thought about my own anxiety levels. I thought about how weird and jealous Sam had been when it comes to my other friendships, constantly taking shots at my other friends, accusing people of trying to keep us apart by hanging out with me at school during her time, including my boyfriend. A few other bridesmaids had been expressing anxiety and possibly wanting to drop out. I realized it was wrong for both me and Sam for me to be maid of honor when I didn't want to be that invested or really involved at all.
Dang.
But I want you guys to be involved in listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Yeah, you could do that.
There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Literally never speak to this person again.
Yeah, she's great.
Just get her out.
She's great about her wedding.
Excise her from your life.
She's great about her job / her education.
Bottom line, she's cray-cray.
She's a big old bucket of cray, and I ain't talking about crawdads.
No, sir. But there's a little bit left. I messaged her telling her I had a lot of stuff going on and couldn't dedicate as much time or responsibility as she expected, and it would be best for me to drop out of the wedding party. She said she understood, but then lectured me on how I should have told her in person. She said I was the only one helping her. It wasn't fair, and kept messaging me reasons I shouldn't back out. Ultimately, she removed me from the bridal party group chats she had established and the Facebook group she had made. Our school only has one student lounge for us to hang out in, so I will definitely be seeing her still. I don't really have a plan for handling it other than not entertaining the wedding talk, not allowing her to demand my attention, or chasing my other friends away anymore. I don't have a desire to be friends with her. She brings me nothing but anxiety. I constantly feel like I'm handling an overbearing parent who won't get out of my business. Now she's on to finding her fourth maid of honor. I wish her luck because I don't think anyone's gonna do it. And I think most of the wedding party is about to quit. Well, maybe she'll eventually learn her lesson.
She can get married to her reflection.
And that's all that's gonna stick with her. But that is the end of that story, folks, and we've got another one.
I rejected my friend that I used to be in love with.
You're flip-flopping all over the place.
I, 30 male, met my friend Jean, 28 female. Jean, I need you.
Let me in.
I met her 3 years ago at a rec soccer league, and I was pretty infatuated with her from the beginning. Another guy in the league, lawyer dude, 30 male.
Is that the
We're
superhero?
going to call him LD.
Objection!
Lawyer dude also liked her and was part of the same group of friends that would get together at this league. By the way, this comes from user a bunch of gibberish. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, after over a year, our friendships deepened, and I honestly fell more in love with her, too. I was hesitant about damaging our friendship, but came clean and asked her if she wanted to explore something more. She told me she loved me as a friend, but wasn't into me like that since she didn't want to get in a relationship at the time. Even though my heart was broken, I moved on. Less than 2 months later, she started dating LD. And it became clear to me she wasn't necessarily avoiding relationships, but just didn't want me. I think all my romantic feelings for her ended right at that moment, since I'm the type of person who wants the same excitement and feelings for a partner that I give them. No big deal. I was honestly happy for her. We were still good friends, but I left the league because my professional life picked up after I was promoted to CFO of my company.
Ooh la la.
And I just didn't have the time for it, so I got chief financial officer duties to take care of.
I'm a busy businessman. I don't have time for rec leagues.
We still joked and texted all the time, and Jean and LD even came out with me, my friends, and my sister to party and have some nights out. Jean even became good friends with my sister, which I was happy to see because I like seeing my sister surround herself with great people. A few months ago, Jean and LD broke up, which came as a surprise to everyone because they seemed great together. I've been finding out over the past several weeks from Jean and my sister that LD was harmful almost the entire time they were together.
That's terrible.
I feel terrible for her, and she's been spending more time with us. I think she's well on the path to recovery, though she should probably see a therapist or something to confirm that. Last weekend, we were drinking some wine in my kitchen, goofing around. She was teasing me about the last few girlfriends I'd had, and even doing impressions of some of them. I was pretty tipsy, and my kitchen is tiny, Manhattan apartment, and I'm pretty sure she initiated a kiss. We kissed for maybe 7 to 10 seconds before I put a stop to it and tried to diffuse the situation by joking about how strong the wine was.
Whoa! Oh, what's in this wine? That's crazy.
I guess there's kisses in this wine.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe we just did that. It must be the wine and nothing else.
Yeah, well, whose vineyard did this wine come from? Henry Kissinger's? I don't even. Did he have wine? They're all making wine these days.
What orchard? What vineyard did this come from? Or on Host High School? Cause we're kiss falling in love in.
That's a deep cut. That was a pretty deep cut right there. She agreed. She laughed about it and went home. Early the next morning, she was at my doorstep and wanted to talk. She said she was in love with me and that we could start what we should have started when I confessed to her years ago. I told her that I loved her as a friend, but didn't see her romantically, and that it wouldn't be a good idea. Now, how is she going to handle it when the shoe's on the other foot? Is she going to handle it with grace and dignity like OP did? Or is she going to lose her absolute crap?
Cut off ties with you, OP?
She seemed incredibly hurt and asked if it was because she had rejected me, and I told her it wasn't, though I don't think she believed me. And to be honest, it probably is the reason. As I mentioned earlier, unless someone is as Golden Lab excited about me as I am about them, I lose interest romantically.
I think that's fair. I think it's, you have interest in someone, they reject you, so you move on from them. I think sometimes you can kind of come back around and realize, oh, I actually am into that person. Also, sometimes you just don't.
It's simply the way of the world. I probably have issues. Join the club, buddy.
That's an issue, though.
We all have issues, buddy. Join the club, dude. I probably have issues, but that's how I am. I'm in no way trying to purposely punish her. Now my sister's texting me and giving me a hard time because she sees it as her friend having been manipulated into a relationship when she wasn't ready for it by a self-absorbed person. And she's accusing me of being vengeful and petty with someone who is my soulmate because she got manipulated and chose someone else over me.
I would just say I'm not into her anymore. I'm not allowed to not be into her anymore.
Yeah, guys, would it be crazy if I just said I don't like her like that?
Yeah.
Would it really be that much of a stretch?
So strange.
My sister has also dated some a-holes in the past, so I think she's seeing it from Jean's perspective, which I don't fault her for. I reached out to Jean to see if she was okay, but she said she needed time and that it's possible we should never see each other again.
Dang.
I think that might be a bit of
That's a bit of an over-exaggeration.
Maybe a bit of a drastic response.
I called it, though, didn't I?
Right.
I did say. She's like, I think she's going to cut you off completely.
It's like, she just didn't have your fortitude, OP.
Guess not.
She didn't have your ability.
Yeah, she's like, that's it. We're done. I know that I rejected you once and we were able to be friends, but now that you've rejected me, no sir.
That kiss must have been like the best kiss she's ever had.
I guess so.
Yeah.
7-second kiss and she's in love.
The Kissinger Vineyard makes a strong brew.
Quite fruity and dry.
Yeah, wine connoisseur over here. OP continues, I think this is super hypocritical since I continued to be a good friend when she rejected me. I love her platonically. Should I try to explore if there's romantic potential here? I'm not about to lose a friend and potentially ruin my close relationship with my sister.
Honestly, no. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
She's being a love terrorist.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know. We don't negotiate whether or not you want to be in a relationship. If you say no and she reacts like this and then your sister reacts like that, I would be even less attracted to them.
I mean, I think it is important to be like within yourself to be certain
Sure.
on what you feel and how you feel and why you feel that way.
But I would be second guessing.
At the end of the day, if you're like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, I love you platonically.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, if that's the case, then I guess we'll never see each other again.
Well,
all you can do is say, I guess I'll try to make peace with your decision.
That just brings up a really good point here. OP is totally the backup plan. Are you the first person that she's been like tried to be with romantically or even physically after her relationship?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case,
Backup plan doesn't feel very good.
Just trying to bully you into a relationship.
or at least a rebound.
We have some comments here. Comment number 1, if you don't feel for her, you don't feel for her. You need to confront your sister with her BS. Simply advise her that you can't help that you've moved on and you're no longer romantically interested in her. Tell her that you are disturbed by the fact that she's talking about Jean being your soulmate when she's just another friend you both have in your life. Yeah, you may have had interest in the past, but that was in the past. You've grown as a person and have had experiences with Jean which have changed how you've viewed her as a person. You still care for her, but you can't view her more than a friend now. It's very weird to feel pressured and coerced into a relationship just because someone else feels you are a perfect match and completely disregarding your feelings. That's not healthy and sets a precedent for how any sort of relationship with Jean may go, with your feelings being ignored. Advise her while you understand that Jean is her friend and she wants what's best for her. She cannot possibly think it's okay to dictate who you involve yourself with romantically or who you choose not to. It's none of her business and also makes you feel as if she doesn't have your best interests in mind because you told her how you feel and she's not listening and instead trying to sell you her dream. But what if it's a good dream?
What if it's a dream
Yeah.
of us and 6 kids and we're living in the woods of Washington?
That's your dream, Dad.
It always rains and we sparkle in the sun and we're not really related to each other, but we've all come together through circumstance. And we one day meet a girl who notices us.
From Arizona.
These snobby Italians keep sticking their freaking hands into our business. Anyway, that's the plot of Twilight.
But also, I love how your sister is preaching to you now that, like, this is soulmates. Where was this preaching back in the day?
Hey, sister, if you love her so much, why don't you marry her?
Hey, that would be crazy.
Plot twist.
If you don't feel something, you don't feel something. You don't owe her anything. When she had you and someone else on the table, she chose someone else. No issue with that. Can't help how you feel. But then you moved on, and you can't help how you feel. It's never all right to be coerced into a relationship. Don't let that sort of behavior slide because then they may take other liberties. If you end up feeling something in the future, cool, but let it be on your terms. And if Jean cares enough, she'll wait and give you the space. She can choose to move on if she likes, but no one should live your life for you, especially not your sister who's shown signs of obvious bias and lack of actual care for your best interests. Try and let Jean down gently but firmly again. Ask her to please respect your decision as you respected hers and not involve your family. Offer space or a break from the friendship if needed, but make your decision clear in no uncertain words. Set boundaries. Hopefully you can move on with your friendship with Jean and relationship with your sister on a healthier road. And there is an update.
Sure is.
Do we think it's gonna be a good update with healthy boundaries?
No, I don't.
I think Jean is gonna go full Phoenix Force mode and try to rip everything apart and pit friend against friend.
I think Jean's about to go a little bit wild.
Over under that they realize that
I think
they're in love?
60%. 60%.
60% dating my sister
Yeah.
odds.
Yeah.
Keon?
I think Jean's about to get a little gray.
All right, because it's a gray area on what gender she's attracted to. Nice. I personally don't see that happening.
Well, let's find
But I wanted to
out.
pose it. Update. Had some people messaging me asking for an update. Blah, 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 blah. Here it is. I had brunch with my sister the day after the first thread went up. I actually showed her the thread, and she spent half of our meal reading through it. She agreed it wasn't her place to butt in and apologized for making the situation more difficult for me.
Okay.
She said she's going to be on my side, and I can count on her going forward.
Well, there we go. Look at that.
So we fixed it with our sister.
We fixed it with words.
Sister fixer. She also agreed with a lot of the posts that I should probably take a clean break or at the very least have a serious distance between Jean and myself. So that's what I've been doing. Until last night.
What happened last night?
Until last night.
What happened last night? Tell me.
Oh, I went to a party in Brooklyn.
They don't talk like that in Brooklyn.
Yeah. See, I went to a party in Brooklyn. See?
Party in Brooklyn. Yeah.
For a friend's birthday and took an Uber back home to Lower Manhattan. Around midnight, my front desk called asking if they should let Jean up. I was confused, but said, yeah. She comes up looking much happier and healthier than I've seen her in months. She hugs me and says she misses me and asks if we can just talk and hang out. She saw me at the party earlier on Instagram, and our mutual friend said I left early, so she came over. That's a little bit too much sleuthing for my taste. Maybe send me a text first before you show up to my place.
I think she still has a crush on you. I think she likes you.
Feels like it. She was sleuthing on you.
Yeah, she's kind of stalking you.
I've been drinking, so things are less awkward, and we start talking like old times about what we've been up to over some beers in my tiny kitchen again. She kisses me, and I don't stop her this time.
Okay, so Opie took some time and he said, I've considered it and I'm kind of into it.
Sipping on that Henry Kissinger vintage.
He said, kiss, kiss, I am falling in love.
she ends up spending the night. Oh, and
What a plot twist.
you can put money on that. It's gonna be a mess.
It was a little kiss, and then maybe a little bit of some bang.
Now, when the Henry Kissinger vineyard is involved with lip locking, and it's this complex, I don't think it's gonna be clean.
What about if it's involved with pop locking?
And drop it.
pop locking and dropping it? We have to drop it. And I don't think either of them are dropping it right now.
Got it.
They're slopping it. And by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. All you have to do is simply search OK Storytime and you've got the whole shebang. Every single recording that we have totals up to like 3 months worth of stories.
So many stories.
Listen to them all. And we have a little bit of story left here. I don't anticipate this ending well.
I think there is a chance.
I was gonna say maybe it's good in the short run.
I think there is maybe a chance because she took the time away, felt, got healthier, kind of had that, we don't know if she was single, but had that space to find out who she is outside of this relationship that was so bad. So I honestly think the space away from OP was pretty good for her if she had such strong feelings, as she says. And then she took that space, still felt like she had those feelings, and then came to OP again and was like, hey, I've took a little time. Well, what are your thoughts?
My humble prediction is that they're going to wake up. She's going to be like, oh my God, this was the best. So now we're on the road now to being together. And he's going to be like,
Ooh.
I don't know what last night meant. And that's going to, and then it will implode immediately.
Well, I hope not.
That's my guess.
I hope not.
Waking up this morning, I still don't know what to think. I left while she was sleeping to pick up coffee. When I came back, I heard the shower and sat on the bed waiting for her. When she got out, she realized I wanted to talk about last night, so she asked if she could speak first. She said she knows I'm confused, knows how it feels like she's my backup, and knows how it feels like she's a rebound, but none of that is true. She says she loves me and wants to do whatever is necessary to prove it and make it work. I told her I'm feeling confused and don't feel the same type of love for her that she thinks she feels for me. She cried, asking if she could do anything to prove it. I told her I think it's best if we take some time apart to do our own thing and let all these high emotions settle down. If necessary, we can pick up this discussion with cooler heads and maybe even become friends again. She cried more, agreed, and left a few hours ago.
And you hit the nail on the head, Dakota. You really just kind of bullseyed that.
Really hit it. That's the sound of the bull's eye.
That's the sound of the bull's eye.
It's the sound of the bull running.
I'm still feeling shell-shocked over the whole thing and have been pacing around my apartment. I think I made the right decision about taking a clean break for now. I appreciate all the great advice last time, so thanks again. And that is the end of that story.
Yeah, y'all can't be friends right now, for sure.
OP, you kind of messed up with
Yeah, with sleeping with her when you knew that she liked you.
She came over and said, let's talk, and all you guys did was not talk.
You guys were yet another casualty of Henry Kissinger.
It happens, folks.
His dang
It happens.
red wine.
You get you, and you just don't even see it coming.
Never drink Kissinger's red wine if you want a simple evening. Kissinger's red wine is gonna get crazy. War crimes.
But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up. It's been years, and my friend is still sabotaging my relationship.
Why are they still your friend?
And this comes directly from the r/okstorytime subreddit. In grade school, I had two best friends, Tanzia and Amri. We were so close, they would stay at my house all the time. I stayed at theirs once in a while, but the hangout place was my house.
You had the cool house.
I was very shy about going to Tanzia's house because I had a crush on her brother, Markle. By the way, this comes from Pretend Repeat 4167, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we were all very close right up until the end of our freshman year of high school because I was pregnant and too tired to hang out all the time.
Fair.
Freshman year of high school?
Pregnant. It's fair to be too tired. You're pregnant.
Back in middle school, Amri used to meet boys over the internet or over the phone through people she knew in real life and would tell the boys that she was me. Thin blonde hair and blue eyes. She was in fact the complete opposite. Dark hair, brown eyes, and chunky.
I have to pause because,
Are we just gonna gloss over the fact that you were pregnant freshman year of high school?
well, hey, it happens.
Sure, but like we have no information about that. Opie just said I was pregnant in high school, and then we just kept moving.
Yeah, hey, that's what you got to do when you're pregnant in high school.
I
You gotta
guess
just
you
keep
just
on
gotta
moving.
Keep moving.
Keep moving forward. Also, Caitlin, you're right. It's Been is equally as iconic as Day and Night.
When she would call these boys, she would make me tell them that I was her. She even described me as herself in great detail so they would think I was gross.
Why? So why don't no friends? These are no friends. No friend of yours.
I didn't see why she was doing it. I thought she was so pretty and I was envious of her. Yeah, she was chunky, but she didn't look bad at all. She also never did this with Tanzia. I then had a baby at and stopped hanging out with friends after school. I didn't play sports anymore and I graduated a year early. I am so impressed with you, OP. You had a baby in high school and I'm so impressed with you.
Got pregnant and fully locked in.
That's what I'm saying. Like OP, like we don't have any information, which if you don't want to share it, that's fine. I'm just very impressed with you. So my close friends ended up being pretty distant for about 6 years. I spoke with Tanzia, and not long after, Markle ended up inviting me to a party. We hooked up and didn't really talk much after that. Whatever, I didn't care. 4 years later, he messaged me telling me that he should have kept in contact after our last encounter, and that he had liked me since we were in school, blah, blah, blah. Well, after quite a bit of pushing, I finally gave in and agreed to meet up with them again, this time at a bar. I only agreed because Tanzia and Amri were going to be there too, and I missed them. Life sometimes pulls people in different directions, so it had been a while since I had seen them. While at the bar, we were all drinking, having fun, taking selfies, catching up, dancing, just having a blast. Then Markle started flirting, and I, of course, flirted back, because I always actually had a pretty big crush on him. About an hour or so went by, and I could see Amri wasn't having fun anymore. I asked her what was wrong, and she told me she was fine. I knew she wasn't, but if I had pushed, she would have probably made a scene, so I just went on having fun with Tanzia and Markle. By the end of the night, Markle and I ended up hooking up yet again. This time, it was pretty amazing. The next morning, I woke up.
Whoa.
No, you gotta
We're
say
not
that.
going to gloss over
You gotta
that.
say that.
You can say it. What was it?
Like back scratching amazing.
There you go.
Because it feels so good when you scratch that itch on your back. You get a little back scratching. That's what that means.
The next morning, I woke up, said bye to him as he was the only one awake. Later that night, he called me. I was kind of shocked because of the last encounter. He was wasted and told me that he liked me but was unsure if we could date. He wouldn't tell me why for a little while, and I was like, well, that's fine. I guess I'll let you go and see you in another few years. He wasn't okay with that and finally told me that Amri had told him that I was shady, couldn't be trusted, that I only liked black men. This is such odd lies. I told him he could believe what he wanted, and when he was ready to have a conversation when sober, I'd gladly talk to him. He kind of freaked out a little, but I ended up letting him go. We didn't really talk much once again. 3 years later. Dang. Time jumps all over the wazoo.
We're time travelers.
How's your kid?
Yeah, how's the baby doing?
That's what I'm asking. We haven't heard anything about this baby.
This story's not about the baby.
I'm wondering if maybe that was a typo, like maybe OP is now pregnant.
I don't know.
I feel like it may have been a typo.
No, she had a baby.
But it was
She
never
had
mentioned.
a baby.
It was never mentioned
She
again.
said she had the baby.
She said she was pregnant, and then she did say she had the baby.
I know. I read the story.
I know,
was
but
there.
I'm as baffled as you are. We're all baffled.
The baby is fine. The baby is well behaved. Her friends, however, are stinky mouths.
Maybe OP is the baby. OP's baby.
Bobby's baby.
Let's go.
3 years later, I go to Tanzia's place for New Year's, and guess who's there? You guessed it, her brother Markle.
Megan.
Megan's there.
Meghan Markle.
We don't know anything about the baby. He apologized for what happened 2 years prior and said he shouldn't have let other people, Amri, get into his head. I asked him to elaborate on what else she said. He told me all the same stuff he had already told me before, but then added that they slept together the very next night after he and I were together. Was this Tanzia's brother?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought this was Amri's brother the whole time.
No.
Woo!
No.
The night he called me and told me what she said about me. He said he did it because he didn't think he'd ever have a chance with me after he messed it all up by letting her get in his head. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to make that joke. We actually had a nice long overnight conversation.
You have to make the joke. You cannot pull that on us by saying, you know what? I'm going to make a joke.
I can't make the joke.
Yeah,
it's
you
so
can.
obvious.
You can. Go ahead and make
No,
that
there's no
joke.
point because it's right there.
Go ahead and make that joke. I don't know
I
what the joke
shan't.
is.
I shan't.
What's the joke?
You have to do
What's
it now.
the joke? If you don't make the joke, there's no evidence that you're funny.
Sure there is.
What's the joke about?
Do it.
And I went home
No!
the next morning.
So no head?
We did talk here and there, but I felt betrayed by both of them, so things didn't go as he hoped. Fast forward another 3 years, Markle came over to my house just for a friendly catch-up and a couple drinks.
What's up with this, like,
This is
3 years?
years gap?
He's a freaking comet.
This is crazy!
Just orbits around every 3 years.
Every
comes
3
back.
years. He's like,
He's like Pennywise. He just comes every like 3, like.
And now I take my long rest.
he apologized again, said he was wrong, and asked if there was any chance of us having any kind of relationship.
After 3 years?
No, this is after like 15 years, because he comes back every 3 years.
Yeah, he does this every excuse. You guys do drinks, then you do each other, and then he gets like, you know what? She's in my head. I can't be with you. I'm gonna go be with Amory. And then he's like, I thought I blew it with you, even though you know what? I'm not gonna finish that one.
I told him I was unsure after all the years of back and forth and the whole Amory thing. I told him I'd have to think about it. You got this guy wrapped around your finger, OP.
Vice versa, to be honest.
But after about a month of hanging out almost every day after work, things were going great, and I did agree to a relationship. We hung out all the time. As soon as Amory caught wind of the relationship, why is Amory even remotely around any of you?
The only wind Amory should be catching at this point is a fart.
She had the nerve to call me out of the blue after years of not talking to her because she ruined what could have been for Markle and me just to tell me, you better not hurt him. He deserves someone who's going to be good to him.
Markle and me.
Markle and me, and at the end of the 15 years, is a really sad passing.
Is this the first time you guys have ever heard the name Markle?
No, House
Yeah,
of the Castle.
dude.
What? That's not true. The little child's name is Markle.
Oh, that's fair, but the first real life Markle. First IRL Markle.
Markle.
Markle and me, and it's just OP, and Markle's just a big dog.
Aw.
Who is?
Marley and me
Yeah.
is a golden retriever.
No.
I thought it was a lab.
No.
No, isn't it?
Oh, it might be a lab. You're
Maybe
right.
I'm thinking of Marmaduke.
I think you're thinking. I think it is a lab, and I think you're thinking of Marmaduke. Those words still echo in my head to this day.
Markle Duke?
Wait. Ready. Markle-Duke. They're echoing in her head. She's the one that hurt him, not me. After several months of being together, we were invited out by his sister, Tanzia. She picked us up from my house. I had no idea Amory would be in the car, too. She was in the back seat. I sat between them both. Things were awkward at first, but then somehow things loosened up. Why?
Oh, something definitely loosened up.
There's no way that was awkward, right? You just
Everyone was super chill.
cruise through that one, right?
Your boyfriend's sister and your boyfriend's ex? Everyone was talking and enjoying the drive. Then all of a sudden, Amory spews out of her mouth, "Hey, Markle, remember when we thought I was pregnant with your baby?"
That's just a wild
That's such a
choice.
weird thing to say.
What a strong choice of words.
My heart dropped. I instantly got so annoyed and angry, but I kept my mouth shut and just listened to them go back and forth with their crap. The baby was definitely not his, as the baby was clearly fathered by a black man. He never told me he thought he was the father of the baby after their one-night stand the night after he and I were together. I was floored. I couldn't believe my eyes and ears. They argued for what felt like an eternity. Thank goodness Tanzia finally spoke up and told them it wasn't the time or place, especially because I was sitting right there stuck between them. I stopped hanging out with her. Why were we hanging out with her before? Unfortunately, Tanzia and Amory are still friends, so every party or get-together, she's there. I felt like there was nothing I could do about it. Markle and I had a baby 2 years after being together, and we gave her my father's first name and my other bestie's middle name. It's so unique and rare for a girl, but we both love it so much. While I was pregnant with her, we found out Amory was also pregnant. She was a month or two behind me in the pregnancy. The first time I met her daughter, she was about 6 months old. No one told us her name before that day.
Oh, no.
That woman gave her daughter, yes, the one she thought was Markle's, a name so similar to our daughter's name that if you aren't paying attention, you wouldn't know which name's being said.
I thought you said your daughter's name was so unique that
Yeah, which is clear that she stole it.
She just changed a couple vowels around.
I was disgusted and appalled. I couldn't believe she could be so jealous and hateful toward me that she would name her child almost the same name as Markle's child.
So it's like Amarona
Yeah, and
Omarana.
Amarooni.
Omastar.
Am I wrong to think she's crazy and maybe obsessive? Girl, she's been crazy and obsessive for 15 years.
Yeah, how could you know you're not wrong?
She's been crazy and obsessive since middle school.
You know you're not wrong.
She literally catfished men with your image.
It's okay. You can know you're not wrong and still want to hear other people tell you you're not wrong. But please tell me you know you're not
I hope
wrong.
you know that, because you're not wrong. I've told him I don't want it to go anywhere she is, because she's crazy. He told me she's like family. Huh? He just said she's like family? He's freaking slept with her. She's like family?
Yeah, that's going to be an awkward family reunion.
So I have to deal with it.
Again, hey, OP.
No.
Jealousy is the highest form of flattery.
I think Markle needs to stand up for you more. Every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and any big get-together, she's there. He's playing with her kids and talking to her like nothing ever happened. He needs to create distance. You need
Especially
to-
if it's bothering
honestly,
you.
I would go to
yeah.
him and say, hey, I understand that you can't tell her not to come because your sister's inviting her, but I would appreciate if you created some distance because she still has feelings for you.
Or I think do it in a way where you're not trying to control him, where you're like, do you see what she's trying to do?
Exactly.
Because if you were like, stop talking to her, or like, you got to create distance, it's like, oh, you're controlling.
Yeah.
You don't want to seem like, and you're not, but I can see how they could get twisted.
It's so annoying and hurtful after all she's done. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get the way I feel. You used to be such good friends. Yeah, until she ruined us. Tried to ruin us again by blabbing about you almost being her baby daddy, and then named her kid almost the same name as ours. Like, literally, how does he not? First time, she lies about you, tries to make you look bad so she can sleep with him.
It's just like this person has an issue with me. And if you're on my team, which as my partner, I would hope you are within reason, always on my team, you need that you have a problem with her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's got problems with me.
What the heck do you not get? Am I wrong for being upset about her giving her daughter a name so similar to ours? I told him she's crazy and obsessed with him. He says he doesn't see it, that I'm just overthinking. By the way, you can think about listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Amria?
Amri, get her out of here.
Amri needs to scramry.
I like that. And I agree with that. But my advice is just have a conversation with your husband. Again, sit down and say all of the grievances that you have with Amri, everything that she's done to you guys, and say, this is why I'm not comfortable with her. I know you can't ban her. I feel like you're not really on my side.
You gotta be on my team, man.
Let's be on the same team, man.
If you're gonna orbit like a comet, I'm not down. All right, you gotta come down to Earth. You gotta make landfall.
What if we saw her only every 3 years?
What a dream.
Markle and I just had our second baby last December and just had our 5th anniversary last month. Tanzia ended up getting pregnant 6 weeks after we got pregnant with our second baby by Amri's brother. I thought for sure Amri was going to be around forever.
A lot of brother dating in this circle. Everybody's with everyone's brother.
I was not looking forward to family gatherings anymore with his side of the family. Since we had our second baby, Amri hasn't been to any gathering. Yay me. Turns out things aren't good with Tanzia and the baby's father. Yes! Tanzia isn't destroying her own friendship.
So
Yes!
Amri has a problem with her brother.
No. So Amri's brother was with Tanzia,
Yeah.
was having a baby. Tanzia is having a falling out with Amri's brother, and because of that falling out, is now having a falling out with Amri too.
Oh, okay.
Tanzia has been going through a really rough patch in her life, and the father has the baby. I don't believe Tanzia and Amri are talking much anymore since that situation happened. So it's possible I don't have to worry about seeing Amri at all at the family gatherings. It's been almost a year of not having her around, giving me weird looks and not talking to me, but making it a point to talk to Markle right in front of me, but not when I'm not near them. It's been so nice and peaceful at family gatherings. So am I the a-hole for not wanting to be around someone so toxic and not wanting my kids around them too? No.
I would say absolutely not.
No. However, even though Amri is gone, the problem is still there. You still have the underlying issue. Your relationship is going to, experience this same thing down the line with another person if we don't set these boundaries now.
100%.
So let's have that conversation again.
Your partner can't just be chumming it up with your enemy.
But that's the end of that story.
That was the end. That was the end of that story.
The next one.
My fiance cheated with a married teammate, and I told the wife everything.
I'm telling her all of it.
I, 35 female, found out a few days ago that my partner of nearly 5 years, who proposed to me less than a year ago, has been emotionally cheating on me.
Yikes.
It escalated to a secret meetup and a shared kiss with another woman who is married.
Double yikes.
By the way, this comes from user dullad1735, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, they have known each other for what must be less than 6 months. They met due to joining the same sports team where they hold leadership positions. I've spent the last few days going through all the typical motions. How could this person betray me? Holding on to her good parts, giving excuses that she has been in a bad place mentally, and basically putting together a compromise for us to work through this. I offered a route to exploring rebuilding if she cut off this other person on a personal level, but I didn't push that she had to leave the sports team completely, although it was on the table. This has been an outlet of huge mental health support for her. When me and my ex were in conversation, she said she would unalive herself without the sports team.
Okay.
Brutal. She asked how I could expect her to give up everything she has worked for there.
Because you gave up your whole marriage.
You're going to have to either give up that, I guess, or give up the marriage. Maybe find a different team.
She cheated.
Find a different team with this person not there. I don't know. There's got to be more than one team for this thing, right? A reminder that she has been there for just under 6 months. It was at this point I was starting to feel that I really did not matter to her anymore. And yes, I was naive, and I was a fool. What a fool believes. I had it confirmed last night, again, after having to drag information out of my now ex.
Nice.
That they have been together after both being asked to leave. And it has escalated to spicy sleep.
Wait, I'm sorry. They were asked to leave the team?
Maybe they asked, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Dang.
So whilst she left my heart on the line message on red and I tortured myself that she hadn't replied, she was having spicy sleep with this other person. Here's what brings me to the would I be the a-hole. I want to message the affair partner's wife. I feel that I would want the same grace of knowing that they have been together and had spicy sleep in the immediate aftermath of this. If she's been doing anything similar to what I had been doing, I just don't think that is right. Of course, there is a chance the wife already knows and she may also lash out, but I genuinely feel horrible at the thought of this being hidden from her. An additional would I be the a-hole that I know is more based on my rage right now and maybe I need to think over. I want people at the sports team to know. I do feel that these things always come out, but I think there is also a real delusional aspect of them thinking that they can keep this a secret and that they can just carry on as normal and nothing will change. The sports team is a tight-knit group of women. They know both myself and the other wife on a personal level and have for years. So I was considering messaging someone around the team to essentially out them. To be honest, this is something I know I probably will regret, but I was interested to hear takes on it. Solidarity to all those who have been cheated on. My partner always railed against people that did this sort of thing.
she railed that guy.
She sure did.
Was it a lady?
Who, OP?
Yes.
I don't know OP's gender.
I think, well, the team is a tight-knit group of ladies.
OP's wife cheated with another woman.
OP is 35 female.
Yeah, they're all ladies.
Ladies, 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 ladies.
They're probably playing rugby.
One of her best friends has been in a 2-year affair with a married man, and she absolutely destroyed her over it. The nerve. So would I be the a-hole?
Honestly, no.
I don't think you'd be the a-hole, but I don't think it's going to bring you peace in the long run, and that's what you should prioritize.
It's just going to make things messier, but
I think that person deserves to know.
100%.
And you have, I think,
Yeah.
a pretty big stake in it. Like, you're not just an outside observer. You're pretty actively involved in this mess. So I think they deserve to know.
You know, it's close enough that I would probably, I would be letting the affair partner's spouse know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, the team and stuff, I don't think you need to do that.
No. Just the wife.
Because you are right that it will come out by itself.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't need...
There's no way that they don't all know.
There's no peace in that. Comment number 1, Sooner or later, everyone sits down to the banquet of their consequences. Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
I say, F it, may as well make it an all-you-can-eat buffet. No, go full scorched earth. It's not peace. There's no peace.
No, just tell the wife or the partner.
Comment 2, not the a-hole. Please tell her wife so she knows to get tested. You should get tested ASAP because it likely was already physical. I'd tell the sports members so they know not to trust them.
No, I don't think we need it.
I mean, you could. You're not even necessarily wrong for doing it. I just
No.
think it's going to end up being a net negative.
That's what
for
I
you.
think. Yeah. Like, I think tell the wife because she deserves to know. But I think, like, everything beyond that is just going to be a lot of drama for you.
They should feel ashamed of themselves. And I do agree with that.
I think that there's, like, with the sports team, there's no way that they're not, like, going to be able to hide that.
Comment 3, I agree with another commenter. The scorched earth tactic only goes so far. Will it make you feel validated, good, and justified, etc.? Definitely.
Yeah.
Is it ultimately going to fill the hole that your ex left behind? No.
Mhm.
That healing is unfortunately achieved via time, acceptance, and self-love and forgiveness. Stuff that takes a lot of time. All of that being said, I don't think anyone will judge you for going one way or another. Do I think the wife should know? Yes. Do I think the team should know? Well, in my opinion, they probably already do.
There we go. I agree with that comment 100%.
Do what you gotta do, OP. I'll support you regardless. OP says, genuinely, thank you for your reply and the reasoning. I think my instinct is that I won't get what I want from messaging the team. And I think you're right that they probably already know. And if they don't, the truth will always come eventually. And we do have an update. I think you told the spouse.
I
and-
think
and
I think
yeah,
so too. I think you listened to that commenter.
I think they appreciated it too.
Mm-hmm.
Update, I messaged her wife. She responded immediately, and it turns out that she had been wanting to reach out to me, but wasn't sure how it would be received.
Heck yeah.
You guys are living the same experience.
You guys both want to tell each other about the cheating.
Trauma bond, trauma bond, trauma bond.
Yay, you guys should date now. That wouldn't go wrong.
Ooh.
We talked all night, and she did not know they had slept together, but was extremely grateful to know. I found out some stuff that added some weight to the theory that this has been going on for longer than my ex had been letting on. Both ex and affair partner have also been giving almost identical excuses to me and the other victim. I decided not to message anyone at the sports team. It turns out the coach there knows about what has happened. And by the way, you should know that something that is always happening is full episodes with stories like this being uploaded to your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and you can listen to all of them. Wow, what a deal.
Wow. All of
All of them.
them? Wow.
And we've got a little bit left until we've read all of this story. And I like where we're at.
Me too. I think that we've had the conversations. Everything's coming to a nice little wrap in a nice little bow.
And now we shall sit at the banquet of our consequences.
Pretty good.
I got super wasted last night and messaged a barrage of words at my ex, then deleted the conversation. So I have major anxiety from that today. But I'm going to focus on one foot in front of the other. Then I woke up wasted and downloaded a dating app, and I have since deactivated it. I'm a mess, but that's okay.
That's all right.
I also reached out to my ex's sister and told her what had happened and that it was cheating, and asked her to just check in and look out for her because I think when my ex realizes what she has done, there's a huge chance of some very self-destructive behavior. To close off, absolutely F people who cheat. They are the scummiest people.
True that.
And that is the end of that story.
It is.
And I
the
agree
end.
with your diagnosis.
But we have some comments from the video. My fiance's son moved in with me. Now his ex won't stop harassing me. And this was posted December 10th, 2025. TLDR is from story 3. Opie has been with the partner for almost 10 years, but he lies about everything. Even tiny things like eating a piece of bread. She's tried to be honest and loyal, but he keeps getting defensive, gaslighting her, and making her feel crazy.
What is this? This guy literally Gollum?
I didn't eat the bread.
When she finally called him out, he twisted it into her wanting another guy. Now Opie is wondering if she's wrong for being upset or if his constant lying is the real problem. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video.
I take out as big of a loan as the bank gives me, and I put all of my money on it's the constant lying that is the problem.
I think it's the lying. Your Honor.
And we have the comments here from Anything Jan. Yeah, what that guy did in the last story is a notorious tactic. Yeah. Notice how he took very little accountability, but then turned it around back on her that she was the problem, that there was a disharmony in the relationship because she just kept being offended by his trickery. That is not what caring, mature people do. This is what children do to get their own way and to get out of situations where either they don't feel like doing something or they're just trying to get out of trouble. With a man-child, it's mostly because they don't feel like doing something and then don't want to get in trouble for lying about what they promised.
Sounds pretty accurate to me.
Yep, no lies there.
And we have one comment here from King Snorby. For that story and from some experience, sometimes it is the family dynamic that they were raised in that causes them to be that way and usually requires medical intervention. They have to learn their triggers and learn not to have the impulse to lie. I dated someone like this once and worked with them over the course of 3 hours, but every time their family was involved, they resorted to lying again. Not saying this is for every liar, but it is food for thought that sometimes they genuinely don't know how to function without lying because of their family dynamics. I was able to tell when they would lie and was able to read around the words very easily, but it took time and learning their behavior. I do not recommend. Just send them to a therapist. Haha.
Send them over to a therapist and they're not your problem anymore.
Sometimes people lie enough and then it's just like it becomes their food. They are sustained on the lie.
But that's the end of those comments and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow. But wait!
Hey, don't leave yet. We have bonus stories for you that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one.
My husband's family keeps excluding my daughter, so I stopped treating them as one.
They don't deserve it.
February 1st, 2025. I, 38 female, and my husband, 50 male, have been married for 10 years and have a 1-year-old daughter together. He has a son, 30 male, and a daughter, 28 female, from a previous marriage. Since my husband and I have been together, I have always bought his children birthday presents, Christmas presents, and gifts and cards for every holiday. By the way, this comes from Miss Delulu Land, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. They have always made snide comments about me being too festive, but my love language is gift giving. Well, they both have children now. His son has 3 children under the age of 5, and his daughter has twin 2-year-old daughters. This past Christmas, his daughter and her husband hosted our family Christmas party. During the gift exchange, each household exchanged the gift that they bought for the other households. For context, his children have never bought Christmas presents for me, which I'm fine with. I have always been the one to purchase the gifts for my stepchildren and my step-grandchildren, while my husband gives the adult kids gift cards. So while the gifts were being passed out, it quickly became apparent that this year they not only didn't buy anything for me, but nothing for my 1-year-old daughter, their half-sister, either. So everyone at the party had gifts to open. My husband, my stepson and his wife, their 3 sons, my stepdaughter, her husband, and twin daughters had all bought for each other, and I had bought for all of them. But not one person bought anything for their baby sister. I gathered my things and my daughter, and we left. Afterwards, I told my husband that I had never been made to feel like part of the family, and that's one thing. But for them to exclude their own half-sister, who is part of their blood, is completely different thing. I told them I will never spend a dime on his family because they are not mine. Also, they decided to do a family photo shoot and didn't include my daughter. So, am I the a-hole? And there are some comments, but what do you think?
I don't think you're the a-hole for like bringing up that concern. I think that because I feel like the present thing in concern to the 1-year-old feels it like she's not gonna remember. So I think it's just saying like, hey, I feel excluded, you know?
Right. Yeah, I do think like it's a little petty to just leave right away and to like already make this decision that you're not gonna do this. But I mean, I guess if you've been feeling like this for a while.
But I think that's like the thing. I think that's why I'm saying like it feels more like you are being excluded.
Right.
You
right.
know?
So I get that. But I think, you can always have a conversation first. But I wouldn't call you the a-hole.
No.
Honestly, the one says your husband never said anything to you, never getting gifts from them. What was your husband's reaction to your child getting no gifts? What was his reaction to what you told him? Your husband is as much of the problem, it seems. OP says, no, my husband never commented on them never getting anything from me. But he did say that he was upset how they treated the baby. But not to them. He hasn't brought it up to his adult children. Yes, he is part of the problem. He has never set boundaries with his children nor advocated for equal respect. Alarming Paper 8357 says, no more gifts. You tried, but you're done with them. After 10 years, you would think they'd get a clue. Just curious, were you the reason that your husband broke up with his ex-wife? If so, that may be why they're so hostile. And honestly, I'd write them both a letter and explain that you have been handling gifts for your husband's family for 10 years, but will no longer be doing so after the way they treated their half-sister during the holidays. Any gift requests, etc., should be directed towards your husband. And your husband is an a-hole for letting them get away with this BS for 10 years. Let him know that he's on his own from now on for birthdays and holidays. You are done with them. And OP responds, no, he and their mother divorced when his son, 30 male, was 7 and daughter, 28 female, was 5. He and I started dating when they were 16 and 18. So yeah, lots of time had passed.
Yeah.
But we do have an update. So February 16th, 2025, 15 days later. Well, I had a long talk with my husband again after reading all the responses I got. His opinion is that his children have no opinion of our age difference. However, they just don't consider me part of their family, and he doesn't think that they look at our daughter as their sister, which I completely respect because they are entitled to their own opinions as well as their own feelings. With me respecting their feelings comes they're no longer a part of my family. I will act accordingly as just their father's wife. As for my daughter, she is just that, my daughter. Valentine's Day has come and gone, and I did not get a thing for his children or grandchildren. I splurged on my daughter, and it felt really great. I did remind him a week before Valentine's Day that it was coming up and that his grandkids would probably be expecting something. He neither bought anything for his children nor his grandchildren, nor our daughter, and he didn't buy anything for me as well.
This is an issue. Didn't buy anything for you for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, not getting anything for the kids, I honestly understand.
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
it's like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, like part of I'm almost thinking like when they were saying you're too festive, I wonder if that's a very nice way of them trying to say like
you get gifts for every holiday.
Yeah, like you get gifts and I feel guilty about not getting you gifts, so I'm gonna put that idea out there that it's just a too festive thing, so I'm not expected to also give gifts. He made a comment about feeling some type of way of the separation between me and his family, almost as though it was my own decision. And I quickly reminded him that I am just respecting the wishes of his family and that they belong to him and they are nothing to me. In short, this marriage most likely will not last for multiple reasons, not just the issues of this post. Also, I failed to leave out a key detail. He was married to another woman between his children's mother and mine in his marriage. And according to him, that woman treated his children very, very poorly. I don't know her, so I can't speak about her. I only know what he told me, and that story is completely one-sided. He also thinks that that may be the reason why his children treat me the way that they do, due to past traumas from his second wife. That is interesting key detail. That very well could be the reason.
Yeah.
But we do have some relevant comments. Mind Taker says there isn't a world where the father didn't bring a piece of crap home and not give an F about how it affected his family. Not an effing change. Anything else happened. This guy is a D-bag and either wealthy enough to keep scoring women despite his personality or really effing good looking but completely passed away behind the eyes. OP has bad taste in men. OP responds, he isn't wealthy. He and I both make upper middle class incomes. He presents himself as an amazing man in the beginning. Everyone who knows him speaks about what a great guy he is. And I did too. About 2 years into our marriage, I began to see some red flags, and I was already in love, so I ignored them. But now that I have my own child to think about, I cannot ignore them anymore.
For me, this feels like a small thing, but I think for OP, it's like this has been building and building and building because she's been mistreated for so long.
Right.
And she's like, oh, wait, this is the start of what they've been doing to me. And maybe it doesn't really matter because it's a 1-year-old. But I know I've seen the future because it's already happened.
Right. Like I could see how this is going to develop even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then somehow he hasn't seen it either. Yeah. But now he cares when it's like about his kid. Yeah. Now, not his wife.
Not his wife.
Fearless Pen 1420 says he sounds like a self-absorbed person, to be honest. OP responds, I've often thought the same. I saw a bit of the same behavior in one of his children at first, and then realized that the behavior had derived from my husband. But I'm not a psychiatrist, so it's just an opinion. But we have another update.
Ooh-wee.
All right.
Zooey mama. Let's dive in.
February 19th, 2025, 3 days after the first update. So, I Facebook Messenger called his second ex-wife last night. I wasn't sure if she would even want to talk to me since I'm the new wife, but she did, and we had a pleasant conversation. She disclosed that she and his son, adolescent at the time, never had any issues. But his daughter, also an adolescent at the time, was a bit difficult. Think princess mentality. She told me stories where my husband had blatantly disregarded her feelings when it came to his daughter treating her poorly. She said that his daughter always made it clear that she was the queen of her daddy's castle. She eventually separated herself from interacting with the kids, which took a toll on their marriage. She also disclosed that she had found out that in the beginning of his and my relationship that he was spicy sleeping with his supervisor.
Wait. Her husband?
The husband.
Her husband?
The husband cheated on the second wife.
Oy.
Whoa.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
This led me to confront my husband, and after hours of denial, he finally admitted. For context, last summer, I caught him spicy texting his supervisor, and I told him to leave, but we had a new baby.
Ooh.
We started going to marriage counseling for the infidelity, and he swore that he disclosed everything to me. But he never told me that they had previously been spicily involved, even during the first few months of our relationship. Now I'm supposed to believe that after 9 years, just out of the blue, they started spicy texting at random, but nothing has continued to go on between them all this time that we've been married. Yeah, that would be very hard to believe. But you know what's very easy to believe?
What?
Is the fact that we've got more full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio.
I don't believe it.
Just search OK Storytime. You'll see.
Crazy.
You'll see. But, oh, wow. Big development.
Wowie.
Oh,
So
man.
man's a cheater.
Yeah.
Man's a
cheater.
bona fide cheater.
Pumpkin eater.
Eating those pumpkins.
Oh, wow. That's, yeah.
Pay attention to red flags.
Yeah.
You know?
They're important.
Yeah. When you notice your partner is behaving not great
Yeah.
in other aspects of your life, they might also have already not behaved, that loyally in other areas. Well, he clearly does not care about you to the same extent that, he doesn't care about this relationship or your family.
Yeah, man.
Anywhere near as much as you care.
Yeah. Definitely not. And that is so, so disappointing.
Yes.
My goodness. But there is a little bit more to this story. Needless to say, I contacted a divorce attorney this morning. I'll keep you guys updated on the progress if my attorney feels like it will not have an impact on my case. We do have some relevant comments. Lyndon Lil Blue Balls says, maybe the kids just knew their dad would eventually F this marriage up too, so they didn't want to get too invested. Nah, they were raised by a self-absorbed person and became the same as the dad. Linavi says, I can't really blame the kids for not seeing the 1-year-old as their sister, given the age gap there. They were already living on their own with their own families and kids by the time the sister was born. And that's it. That's all we got.
Which I kind of agree with that comment, but I think for OP, it was just this kind of culmination of years of mistreatment towards her.
Yeah, and I can understand that it felt very unfair when she's like buying gifts for literally everyone. And then, one, they're not getting gifts like for her, too, or at least not everyone is. And then also they're not getting gifts for the 1-year-old. And that can be very disappointing. But wow.
Yeah.
They're getting divorced. That is not where I thought the story was going to go.
Nor did I. I was hoping for any sort of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Any sort of good resolution, but, I ended our family because my partner didn't get me a Mother's Day gift. Well, that's bad partner. The title sounds like I'm being spoiled, but bear with me. I'm 34 female and have been with my partner, 47 male, for nearly 11 years. He has one child from his marriage that ended at least 5 years before I met him, so I am not the other woman. He was divorced when I met him. We have a child together now, too. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Daisy Maybe, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. So, when I first met him, his ex-wife wouldn't let him see his child. Oh my God. But I supported and financed him through the courts, and we got access. I treat this child like my own, but understand when things like Mother's Day come around that I didn't get anything to mark the day. They aren't my child. Christmas presents and birthday presents were small token gifts as we were very poor due to a court eating our finances. Valentine's was usually a slightly nicer home-cooked meal and maybe some cheap flowers, not roses or anything. But again, we were literally living paycheck to paycheck, though I might add I was the only one working. Why isn't your partner working? You're living paycheck to paycheck. When my partner finally decided he was ready to go back to work 2 years after court was finalized, but he was still depressed about the whole thing, I was very supportive. I did his CVs, applied for the jobs, and took him to the interviews, etc. He finally landed a really good job that he loves. Finances obviously became much better, and though I am still the main breadwinner, we have a lot more disposable income. He bought a ring, not a massively expensive one, as I'm not one for those things like that. It was about 120 pounds, and proposed to me. I said yes. Fast forward 3 years. We still aren't married, but we are, after a lot of trouble, expecting a baby. I'm overjoyed. He's overjoyed, but it's kind of like he's the one pregnant. He's just going through, he's like, you don't understand. I have a lot of hormonal things going on right now.
Right. I'm having a really hard time.
Yeah.
I would really like it if you would support me in this.
He is snappy with me all the time. I make a mistake, drop a plate or something, and he curses me out. It feels like he's trying to alienate me from his other child. He left me less than an hour after our child was born because he was tired. I'm sorry, he was tired after you just gave birth?
Dude, come on.
I'm too tired to be upset, but I do file it away in my head for later. Don't marry this man. I kept in the hospital a few days after the birth as I lost a lot of blood, but he barely stays 15 minutes a day and shouts at me when I ring him because he's exhausted and trying to rest before the baby comes home. Oh my God. Insane.
That's
insane.
crazy.
I'm reading this back and I feel so dumb, but I'll continue with the original question. Money is still fine after the baby is born. Birthdays and Christmases are nicer presents. Valentine's is better flowers, though purchased the day after, so they're cheaper. First Mother's Day, nothing. He bought for his own mom. I don't talk to my mom, so he knew it was Mother's Day. I had gotten him something from the kids, as I have done every year for Father's Day. So I asked him that night, why? His response, you're not my mom. That's messed up.
Dude.
It's about celebrating the mothers in your life, not just your mom.
Yeah, she's the mother of your child.
Yeah, literally of your child.
Come on.
I was so hurt and we had a massive fight about it. He promised to make it up and said he didn't realize it was that important. I said all I wanted was a card I could show my friends and family instead of being mortified by telling them I got nothing when they asked me what I got. Birthdays and Christmases were thoughtful and nice. Valentine's was flowers on time and out to dinner. We were getting on great. And then this year, I give him his Valentine's. And he says thanks and opens it, glances at me and was like, oh, I don't have time to get yours yet. I'll nip into the garage on the way to dinner. His favorite restaurant that I booked. I told him not to bother. You can make it up to me on Mother's Day, though. I was hurt, but trying not to be spoiled. It's just a day after all. Well, Mother's Day is this weekend coming. I asked him if we had any plans with his mom or if I could book us into this wee high tea thing. He looked at me and was like, oh, I've sorted, Mom, but I'm actually going away this weekend. Dude, this man can't do anything.
What?
He can't do anything right for you. He does not prioritize you in any way.
Because this is the second Mother's Day that she's had being a mom, right?
Yeah. And she
Dude.
said you can make it up. She said you can make up Valentine's Day for me with
Yeah.
Mother's Day. And he was like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, I'm leaving.
I'm going to be gone.
It'll be gone. I forgot to say, we had to swap from the April date to next because a friend couldn't go. Boys' weekend away. I looked at him and said, okay, well, you said you would make up for Valentine's on Mother's Day. Have you got me something from our child or should I get myself something? He was like, oh, yeah, you can get yourself something if you want. I haven't really had time. I do not like this man. I asked what he got his mom and he gave me a massive list. I told him I was done. Now he's calling me spoiled and saying he will go for full custody, that I'm throwing our family away over some stupid commercialized holiday. I told him it was just the tip of the iceberg and that I was sick of him. He's now staying with his mom, and I'm sat here with our toddler. And there is an update. But do you have any thoughts?
Oh my gosh. So many.
Yeah. Yikes.
So many thoughts. What do you mean you didn't have time? You obviously had time to talk with
get-
your boys.
And also to get your mom things,
yeah.
like a huge list of things, and you can't get your wife one thing?
Right. But instead you decided to spend your time with planning a trip for Mother's Day weekend. We're going to leave your wife at home alone with the kids. Because I feel like that's also another good thing to do on Mother's Day if
Yeah.
you know, have a mother of your child, you know,
Yeah.
where it's like you can make it easier for them and not have them take care of the kids.
Exactly.
on that day.
Exactly. It's like there are so many ways that you can be a good partner.
Yeah.
And show your partner that you appreciate them and that you care for them.
And you're doing everything incredibly wrong.
Okay, first things first. Thanks to everyone that has taken the time to comment. I mean everyone. It's given me a lot to think about and a lot of advice. I would like to also address the comments about mistreatment of my stepchild. I came into this child's life when they were 5 years old. When I first started dating their dad, he was seeing them and was paying child support through CSA. However, as we dated, he was fighting with their mom more and more about getting to see them, as she was canceling visits repeatedly for really weak reasons. Usually this happens after my ex refused to give her extra money or something, so I do know that it was 100% a good part of why he wasn't seeing the child. I met the child a few times before suggesting we go to court for a court order. This was after asking the child if they would like to start coming and staying over at ours more. They always said yes. In court, the judge ordered a social worker to speak to the child and ask her what she wanted, as things had gotten very bad between her parents and a lot of stupid things like accusations of substances, etc. The words my stepchild used with the social worker were, "I want to stay at daddy's, but mommy said she'll be lonely and sad and cry all the time, so I can't." He is a good dad in that he loves his kids and plays with them. He never misses a CSA payment. Everything else above paying child support and playing with the kids is left to me. I have a great relationship with my stepchild, and they tend to confide in me well before either of their parents. To be honest, her mom seems a lot, but I also haven't spoken more than 3 words to her, so I don't know. I also now understand why she hates me. As of now, I have told him we are over, and I am looking for a smaller place to stay closer to my friends and family. I have been to a solicitor this morning, not the same one as we used before, as she wasn't available and I wanted to get the ball rolling. They are getting me a temporary order of custody or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it means he can't kidnap my son, and we need to get a proper custody order in place. He has swung between begging me to stay, not caring, and threatening me that I will regret this. Not sure what he means, but it's all been texts, which I'm ignoring but screenshotting. He has not tried to actually come back to the house as far as I'm aware, though. I really can't explain why I let this go on like this. I had a very bad upbringing and that my mom was incredibly abusive, which I'm not getting into. It was only after she left us that people knew the extent. And by left us, I mean she left me and my 2 siblings in a house by ourselves for a good few days before we were brave enough to leave and find someone to call our dad, who my mom took away from us. This probably is why I was happy to support my partner through court, because I've seen parental alienation firsthand. I have no problem with my ex seeing my son. I have no problem with him taking him out, etc. I have a problem with him wanting full or even 50% custody because the man can't look after himself. He sleeps on the sofa if my son's sick because he gets a headache if he's too tired. I was once so sick I could barely lift my head and asked him to take our son downstairs and let me sleep for a few hours one morning. 3 hours later, I came down and my son was in the same nappy that was so full his PJs were wet, and he was eating dry cereal out of the box for breakfast at nearly lunchtime. I mean, your husband does not know how to take care of his kids.
Yeah, like even if the kids are saying that they like him, they like
He's
being
probably
over
a fun
there.
parent.
Yeah, yeah.
But he doesn't know how to take care of kids.
Right. Like
He's being their friend and not their parent.
exactly.
I am not leaving my 3-year-old with that clown. I genuinely thought he loved me. We used to literally just spend hours together laughing and talking, and I was happy. I was stressed because I was working flat out. We had court. My grandparents passed away. My stepdad passed away. It was a terrible time, but he made me laugh, and we were happy. We got our stepchild 2 nights a week, and I loved them so much. I felt the hard work was worth it for them. He was depressed, or so he said. To be honest, I don't know how he sold that one to me. He got his child, and he was literally laying about home all day, every day, playing the games I paid for. Well, I could barely afford makeup and cut my own hair, for crying out loud.
Wow.
I am an idiot. I see that now. Maybe the small achievements made the crap seem worth it. We had a nice home. We got to see stepchild. He got a job. We got engaged. We tried and lost a baby, but got pregnant really quick and unexpectedly after. And you know what else is unexpected? The fact that we have full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up Okstorytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any
Wow.
final thoughts?
I don't know. Just go easy on yourself, OP. Like, you might feel like an idiot afterwards, but in the moment, you didn't know.
You didn't know.
You didn't know, and there was probably, like, I don't know, if he was yelling at her for, like, random things, or, like, right? Is that what I heard correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if he's yelling at you for stupid things and, like, not being there for you and stuff, I really doubt that this pregnancy was the only time that he was yelling at her.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised if there was like some sort of manipulation going on in there. So don't blame yourself for, getting manipulated.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
mean, yeah, he seems like
staying-
just
yeah,
not a great guy. Terrible partner, really.
right.
Just like, I mean, from the start of him not being, like, leaving an hour after you gave birth,
Mm-hmm.
he just was never going to be an involved parent.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he may be a fun parent, but not ready to put in the work. Then it was like, pop, the bubble had burst. I'm running myself into the ground at work, keeping a tidy home, caring for a toddler who's always sick, and trying to support a teenager through their GCSEs and life in general, and he just doesn't care. As long as he's comfortable and has time to play his video games, see his friends and family, and do whatever the heck he does on his phone, he really doesn't care less about what I do. I'm finally just done. Heartbroken, tired, but really and truly done. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Youch. Yeah, I mean, very valid.
Yeah.
Very valid. I think the only thing I would have said is, like, if anybody's in that situation where they're noticing their partner's really not stepping up in the way that they need to them to,
Mm-hmm.
have those conversations before,
Yeah.
talk them out, say, like, hey, I really need a partner.
Yeah.
If that's not working, try and couples therapy.
Something.
And, if nothing is changing, then divorce.
Yeah. But good on you for moving on with the divorce. That's
And recognizing that, you deserve better treatment than this.
exactly. I discovered my husband's betrayal, so I got back at him.
As you should.
This is a long post, so strap in, guys. I, now 34 female, and my ex-husband, now 36 male, let's call him Bob, were married for nearly 10 years, together for 12, but had known each other since our early teens. By the way, this comes from Spirited Lecture 806, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit.
Woo!
So he moved 4 hours away from his family to be with me, but we were happy, or so I thought. Over our 12-year relationship, we got married, had 2 beautiful children, and bought our home. The one thing that he always wanted was a canine companion, but I never did. Eventually, I caved and we adopted a little doggy sidekick. This is important later. Over the years, he went through countless jobs. He would constantly be on sick leave or wait months between ending one job and starting another. He lost his job when I was 6 months pregnant with our youngest and didn't get back into work until he was 4 months old. I, however, worked all the hours I could to keep food on the table and the bills paid. My ex-mother-in-law was sending 1,500 pounds a month to help us pay the mortgage and his side of the bills. He paid for the mortgage and his car, and I paid everything else. He lost his job in the summer of 2023, and in early 2024, my friend's husband offered him a job working for his company. All he needed to do was speak to the managing director. He did this and self-sabotaged the interview, telling them that he was depressed and would struggle to work.
Come on.
Why would you do that? Why would you? You can't go
on.
into a job interview and be like, yeah, I'm not going to be a
why
good
would
worker.
you even do the job interview if you were going to do that? Just be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anything right now.
Yeah,
Don't self-sabotage in the interview.
exactly. Safe to say, I was not best pleased, and this caused an argument of epic proportions. The next day, I was going to a baby shower, and he said that he would drive me there and take the kids to the local park, but he decided to stay in bed. I found childcare for the children and went anyway. While I was there, I received a text saying that he was off to see his family and would be back at some point. Fair enough, it may have been what he needed. 10 days later, around the children's bedtime, he rocks up, banged the door open, and said, "Miss me? Just to let you know, the marriage is over. We are selling the house and getting rid of the dog."
What?
Whoa.
What kind of energy is that? He kicks the door up and goes,
Yeah.
"Miss me?
Miss
Marriage
me?
over. Taking the house. Getting rid of the dog."
That's crazy.
Who does that?
What did she do? That's
Who does that?
so wild. This sent my son into a complete meltdown.
He did that in front of the kids?
Yeah.
I thought it was just at the same time as the bedtime. He did that
Well, it
in
is, I
front
guess,
of the kids?
Around the bedtime, they were probably like about to go to bed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. This sent my son into a complete meltdown as the dog is his best friend in the whole world. I ended up leaving with the children and went to stay with my family. I wasn't able to take the dog with me due to my parents having a cat who hates dogs. Over the coming months, I occasionally went down to the house to get the things that the kids needed. Toys, clothes, etc. But he expected me to ask for permission before going to the house. I think not. Here are a few things that he did while I was living at my parents'. He didn't set up the bills in his name. I had canceled everything which was in my name. If I'm not living there, I'm not paying. He saw the kids for 2 hours a week after school, one of which my son was feeling poorly, and by the time I got to him, he was nearly hospitalized due to how high his fever was because Bob forgot to give him pain relief or even buy some from the shop that he had been in earlier that day, knowing that his son was unwell. Wow, man.
Terrible dad alert.
Oh my goodness. He also started packing all his belongings, but said that he wasn't moving out. Strange, but important for the next part. He tried to sell the house without my permission or acknowledgement. He begged me to sell the house so that he would pay for the divorce if I agreed to sell, but he was informed that once the divorce was finalized, then I would think about it. This is where it gets juicy. I had been at my parents' for around 6 weeks when I decided to go to the house and get some bits I needed for the warmer weather for me and the children. When I walked in, he was sat on the sofa looking worried. He informed me that the house was being repossessed due to the arrears on the mortgage. What arrears? I wasn't aware of any. He said that it was from when he was out of work and only paying the bare minimum. Plausible, yes, but when he said that it was £7,000, something didn't sit right.
Yeah, he's lying to you.
Yeah.
Obviously. He's been lying to you.
The next day, I rung the mortgage company and explained my situation. I explained that I had never dealt with the mortgage, so I literally have no clue about all this. The lovely woman I spoke to told me that he had not been paying the mortgage for a year and had canceled the payments 13 months before. As you would expect, I was angry, hurt, all of it, but I used it to my advantage. I asked the mortgage company to send me a printed version of the mortgage statement, and my plan was set into motion. It was the longest 2 weeks of my life. As you will remember from earlier in my post, my ex-mother-in-law was sending him money to cover all of the bills, including the mortgage. So I wrote her a letter, explained what I had found out, and nicely attached a copy of the statements for proof. This letter sat on my bedside table for weeks, and every time I spotted it, I giggled a bit. A few weeks later, he asked if he could have the children as his cousin, 45 female, let's call her Tracy, was visiting. I agreed, and they had a lovely time. He said that he was off away that weekend to Tracy's family to see them as it had been a while. Perfect timing for part 2 of my plan. He went on Thursday, which was also the day that I sent the letter to mother-in-law. Next day, recorded delivery. And I would be informed when it had been received. On the Friday, I went to the house to get more things, only to find the security chain that had been put on the inside of the door, so I couldn't get in. What? Is locking her out? Ay. I went to the neighbors who were, quote, looking after the dog to ask for the back door key, to which he looked confused. The dog had been left in the cage and was going to be in there all weekend. No food, no water, and sitting in her own mess. I broke the chain off of the door to get her. She was a mess. She was skinny and covered in fleas. At this point, I haven't seen her in maybe 4 weeks. The house was disgusting. The smell was vile, and there was rubbish all over, empty adult soda cans, moldy food, you name it. Only days earlier, my children were playing in that mess.
Dude, you gotta call like CPS, animal, whatever.
Right.
Like, this is
Oh my
hazardous.
gosh.
This is hazardous, and also just like abuse to your animal.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt sick to my stomach. How can he even think that that was an acceptable place to have the children in? He rung me not long after I got in the house, and I told him everything. I told him I know about the mortgage. I told him I was taking over the mortgage and that he can come and get his stuff out of the house. I punted his sorry butt out.
Good.
Good. He was aware that his mom had gotten my letter and had ripped him a new one because of it. The next day, I rallied my troops and we got the house cleaned, tidied, and livable again. Me and my babies had our home back, but not before I got some revenge. Bob has a shoe issue. He keeps all his shoes in the original boxes. So being the petty bee I am, I separated every pair, put them in different bags, and put the boxes in the recycling. There were some important documents which were folded into tiny squares and placed in different bags. I unpacked the expensive knife set that I bought and put it back into my kitchen. And the best one, I found a half-used box of Viagra, so I pocketed that for later pettiness. This is pretty wild.
I'm a little worried about you, OP.
Yeah. Later that night, he rung and I told him everything would be on the driveway the next day for him to come and collect it, or it was going in the bin. Sure enough, he turned up, and greeting him was the packet of Viagra front and center of all his stuff. Me and my troops were all watching from the bedroom window while him, Tracy, and his friend packed everything into the cars, and my uncle and aunt sat on the bench opposite, watching and waving him off. By the way, just like how you're watching us now, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. We've got full episodes with more stories just like this one. So search OK Storytime. We're on there. We're on there. But oh my gosh, there's a little bit more to the story, but wow.
Wowee.
Whoa.
I'm also just a little bit confused with like what the actual pettiness is. Like she put all of his shoes into bags and put them on the
I
street?
think maybe it's playing to his organizational issues or something. If he always like keeps them in certain boxes, he's just like she's just separating them and spreading them all out, so it's like hard to deal with. I've seen some petty moves that are worse than that.
Yeah, I mean it's really
Not
like
the
it doesn't
most-
sound like crazy.
Yeah.
I was really worried about the knife thing. I was like, is she gonna put a knife in the? But it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
seem like
no,
she's
she's
doing
just
anything with a
keeping
knife.
She's just keeping the knives.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't recommend pettiness, especially when it like anytime someone's messing with another person's property, that can get a little bit dicey in terms of legality. But it seems like you haven't really done anything
right.
awful.
Right. A few days later, I found out that Bob and Tracy were in a relationship.
Dude, I freaking called it.
Yes, they are cousins.
Wait, no, I didn't call that. I just thought, oh, he's lying that
Yeah.
they're not cousins and they're actually in a relationship, but they're both.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Wasn't it like the family that was like helping him out? Like, Bob and Tracy are in a relationship with their cousins.
Ew.
And
Jail.
Bob is the husband. Yeah. Yeah.
Jail.
Oh my
Ring,
gosh.
ring, ring. Police. Jail.
So he had cheated on me with her before we had split up. Oh my gosh. He is still a jobless bum living 4 hours away from his kids with his mom, who, by the way, didn't take kindly to me outing her son as such a bad person. He sees his children once every 6 weeks and is forced to pay child support. As for me, I'm still living in my house. I have been promoted. I have a new partner who is amazing, and me, my 2 children, and our doggy sidekick are all doing amazing. And that is the end of that story.
What? And I didn't
Dude.
see that coming.
Yeah, there
I
was
didn't see that coming.
some crazy left turns in that one.
So many left turns that we did a circle.
We did a circle.
We did a little, like, I guess a square.
and accidentally kept it in the
We
family.
accidentally kept it in yep, wow.
Wow, not where I was expecting that was gonna go.
No, thank
Goodness
God you're
gracious.
out of that.
Yeah, glad you're doing well now. Crazy journey to get there, but wow.